All right, hey big fella, look at him just waiting. He wants something. Today, nice and cool. It is the weekend, so I can actually get some stuff done. Oh, she's sitting on the nest. This is good. Let's have a look. Oh, he's showing off too. So she's actually sitting on the nest. He's over here doing a bit of showing off, which is good. So the first 2 rounds of these have been infertile, which is really disappointing. I know the hen. She's really good. She's very fertile, that hen. She's only a young hen as well, but the big boy, he's a bit older, so it's going to take him a little bit more, I think, to sort of get things ramped up here. We've definitely missed our opportunity to get young birds off him into Pattaya. It's too late now. So what we can do is definitely try and get a round or two out. We could send one back to Adam, and we could keep a couple here. He is looking really good. I don't think there's any issues with the health-wise or anything with him. It's just the fact that he's an older boy and it's going to take a little bit longer. I would think by now, if he was definitely potent in that fertility side of things, he would definitely knock this little hen up. But we will see. I'll say she's probably going to lay tonight. And you can see there's little bits of twigs and stuff I've been putting in here as well as I walk past, just to see. Just to try and improve the mood a little bit, get them, just try and whatever. The next thing I'm going to try is I'm going to try and clip his vents. So basically the feathers around it, just so there's a little bit of a trim up there. He is an older fella, and I know that, his mobility isn't as good as what it could be. So he's probably having trouble mounting the hen. I've actually not seen him mount the hen at all, which is not uncommon, but he could just be a bit shy. But we'll have to wait and see how things pan out. So the next, we'll may try one more round after this, but that's it. I don't know yet. We'll just see. I'm going to let this hen sit on these eggs. I may change hens because I do have a hen that we've not used. So it'll be interesting to see. That's probably another option we can try and give this hen a bit of a rest. Because I do want to use her later on this year for a bit of breeding. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. This is the last chance really to get something out. I was thinking, I don't want to push that hen too hard. She's a young hen, she can do a few rounds, but I don't want to push it too hard anyway. So we'll have a little bit of a look in here. But that was just more of an update of that hen and that cockbird we've got there. So hopefully, little Storm up here, well, that's Mother Storm, but little, I just call her small because she's only small. She's hanging around the nest as well. Hopefully she lays as well. There might be a very slight chance that if she does lay, we may be able to get a ring on those babies. Like you've seen, I've got 4 rings, and the cockbird's starting to molt too, so kind of want to wrap things up as quick as possible. That's just an annoying thing with the Pattaya. It just sort of crosses over into the molt. You'll see some birds like Storm, she's not molting, but then we've got cockbirds like this who is molting. So it's it's one of those things we kind of just got to juggle a bit better in the future. We can't really change the molting, but we can probably have pairs that are sitting aside just for Pattaya, so the only time they'll breed is close around that molt time, and just 1 or 2 babies for Pattaya. That's what we'll need to do this coming year. As well, and we've got the 2 little fellas down here. I would have loved to have got the rings on them, but just didn't really happen in time. And it looks like the front one here might be a cockbird, and we might be lucky in having a little hen down the back there, so that's pretty cool. These ones, we're just going to loft fly them. They're not going to make the race, so I'm not going to push them, but we can utilize them next year. Goes towards having that older bird team. So this is the other pair. Got Mr. Kruger paired up to one of my other little hens I've got there, and both these eggs are fertile too, so they're definitely on their way developing. I've candled them, so that's another good little positive thing. We're a little bit behind. People have got rings on their birds already, but we're not going to be that far behind. That's going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. First year, so we're going to just try and do what we can. Another thing I'm going to do this weekend, either today or tomorrow, it's a bit harder today because my wife is at work and I've got to watch the kids, so I can't really spend too much time in here, but I did clean it this morning, but I want to go through and take out all the nest bowls and I want to soak them all, clean them all, get them ready, so that we can be prepared for next season. I'll just put them all away. I've got some boxes and storage things in the shed, and I'll just load them all up in there, and that's it. So this little hen, I've taken the eggs away from this hen previously, but what I'm going to do this time is just leave them in under this hen, just in case something happens to those ones. Then we've actually got 4 babies we can choose from. I do need to candle them ones again later on tonight just to check them. I have checked those ones yesterday. These ones tad younger, so that it's more of a backup, this pair, so that we definitely can try and at least fill those 4 rings we've got. Because who knows, Storm, she might lay, she might not. She's looking like she will, she feels like she will, but she could have infertile eggs. You just don't know. She hasn't bred a lot this year, but at the same time, this cockbird has it's the first time pairing with her as well, so it's kind of, you just don't know. You never know with pigeons, I tell you. So these eggs will have to come out as well. These are the hen that we've seen before with the big cockbird, under my little crazy mealy hen. She's a crazy one. I am considering putting her father in the auction. I'm just trying to, like I've said a lot of times, I'm going for hard day birds, and I want good one loft race birds. So I might just keep this little hen, and I've got a brother to hers as well, a half brother, that we might keep, because they're half crossed into my birds, so they're half speed, half, you know, those tougher birds. So we may look at putting in the red checker cockbird, which has bred me a lot of really good birds. You know, people generally don't sell birds that produce, but this guy produces, and he will come available soon at this point, because I will just keep the hen here as well. So we've still got that ash red color, and I can pair her to another cockbird that I've got. There's actually her half brother, so the mothers are different. So the mother of the cockbird, we could pair this one up, which is her half brother, is a son of Storm as well. So he's actually a beautiful pigeon. He's a blue checker, so we could pair them together and probably get some red checkers as well. So I think a lot of people are worried about losing that red color, but we're definitely not. We'll still have that ash red color. I just sort of stepping away from speed birds because 2 things. One, I just don't see speed birds being overly effective in the one loft races. It's generally the hard day birds, and I do want to try raise older birds in the coming years for racing, and I want to try and get right out to 700-800 kilometers as well. I kind of want to do some of those longer distance races as well. We won't do a lot of races, but we'll just come in every couple of weeks and do some, you know, 700, 800, 900 kilometer races, because these birds, probably not her, she went out to 515 no problem, but it's more like these guys and a lot of these other mixes we've got, which can go right out to those distances, and I want to try it. Something I really want to work on. That's kind of why I'm talking about like some older birds and stuff for next season and really preparing them, because I prefer to send older birds out to that distance. So I'll kind of step away from the sprint races, and then sort of aim for some of those longer ones and give that a bit of a try too, because that will be pretty interesting. So that's something to look forward to next year as well. So kind of, I don't generally explain all this stuff, and not very well, but now you can understand why, you know, some of the speed birds will be gone, like the red checker cock. King will go as well, because they're just the shorter distance speed birds. And we have brought in like heaps of birds. So pretty much most of these birds in here are 500 up to 1,000 kilometer birds as well. So I think that's kind of definitely a good choice where we're going. So let's go and have a look at the other babies, and we'll keep a little bit of a progress on here, because I'm pretty excited to do some longer races. I tell you, I just think about it, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. And all my little guys doing pretty well. So these ones have been coming in and out quite a lot lately. They've been out every day, and they're all looking quite good. So this little one here, right here, is I think it's Dark Storm, but we're pretty much going to enter full brother and sister to this one into Pattaya. So it gives you a bit of a look. Like, this is a beautiful little pigeon. I think this is probably the best one that's come out of that pair. There is 2 more in here that are full brothers and sisters to that one. What's scary is, so we'll definitely have a look at those as well. I got in here and gave a bit of a clean this morning, just to give it a bit of a good tidy up. So there's a little dark storm down there. It's probably the easier one to see anyway. The other two are just normal checkers, but this one's got that slaty look to it. So it's a really beautiful little pigeon. I just don't know where the other two are from that pairing to show you, but I've got so many checkers in here, which I know a lot of you guys want more colours, but unfortunately they just don't last. We've still got a few colours in here, like all my grizzles are here still, which is fantastic. We'd already lost a few of the grizzles by this time last year, so you know, we made a little bit of progress. We've got the recessive red up the back there too, and you can see just on the wings there, we're starting to get some dark, the actual true colour starting to come through now, because that one's starting to molt. So you'll see, I would say, over the next couple of weeks, this recessive red's going to get quite dark, and it doesn't look like it's got any mottled colour on it either. And you can see it's sitting beside the red checker, so the red checker's on the left, and then you got the recessive red on the right. So they do look kind of similar, but those colours will change significantly very soon anyway. So that's going to be really interesting to see, because I've never had a recessive red before, and they do change colour quite significantly, kind of like the tiger grizzles, probably not as much, but it's pretty good. So I'm pretty happy. Plenty of room in here, and starting to look nice and clean too after we gave those floors a good tidy. Some nice small little birds down here as well. Golden Storm, that one's pretty nice actually. I think that's Golden Storm. She's a beautiful little hen. We'll probably have a look at her a little bit later, but she's out of Apache and Storm. Oh, hang on, I've seen one. So this is another, so Mr. Kruger's, this one's Mr. Kruger's son here. Probably a bit hard to see, but he's a really nice bird too. So probably similar to that and Darkstorm, which is looking pretty good there too. So I don't think she definitely won't get to race, but we'll loft fly her, and she can be for next year, because she should be able to do up to 800 or 900 kilometers. So I'd say definitely 800, which is starting to get me a little bit excited when I start talking about it a bit more. So hopefully this year we'll have a lot more older birds left over from the race season, and they're all looking pretty good. We've got these ones. That one's a speed bird. Got the blue bar in here from Adam Archer. I'm going to start getting her back out again, because we used to actually loft fly her, so she's going to be loft flying. There's one of King's sons. He's smolting out quite nice. He's got a bit of a silver streak to him. He's down off the gold dust lines anyway, so I think he's so he's down off gold dust and some of the Hawa stuff, which is pretty interesting. So his father will be up in the auction as well. He's bred some good birds as well, like my speed birds. The ones that I've got that are selling are good. I tell you what, they keep up with the really good ones here in Perth, and they've done pretty well for us last year, especially in really good conditions. They like absolute rockets, so we'll definitely see that again this season, I think. And 83's paired up with the ugly hen, which is interesting. Something that I'm really curious to see is pairs that were not paired up originally, who they're pairing up with now. So this is like, that's a perfect example. Like, I would not have picked them as a pair, but they've picked each other, and I definitely wouldn't have picked these two as a pair, but like before, they picked each other. So it's interesting to see who the bird's actual preference is. And look up here, Titan's already picked up another hen as well, so that's interesting. Those two were already paired up, and the others are sort of starting to pair up as well, because there's still a lot of eligible hens in here, but it will just take a little time. This is a little hen. I'm surprised she hasn't paired up with anyone either. So yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot going on. I'll see you very, very soon.